Good morning, viewers. Did you catch what just happened on the Forex screens today? If you've been following currency movements, especially the Iraqi dinar, you are in for something extraordinary. Right now, traders across the world are double checking their platforms because the Iraqi dinar is showing small but noticeable shifts in value. This isn't speculation, wishful thinking, or rumor. We're talking about actual movement happening on professional Forex platforms right now. Even the smallest change in currency rates can send ripples through global markets, and today's activity has experts watching closely. If you've been waiting for signs that the Iraqi dinar might be moving, today's developments could be the spark that signals the start of a much larger trend. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, you'll see exactly what traders are seeing, why it matters, and how even small movements can have huge implications for investors and businesses alike. Let's break down what we're actually seeing on the screens today. Across multiple Forex platforms, the Iraqi dinar has experienced a subtle but persistent strengthening against major currencies, including the US dollar, the euro, and the British pound. While the shifts aren't dramatic, they are consistent, and consistency is exactly what traders look for when predicting market trends. For years, the dinar has hovered around the official rate of 1,320 per US dollar, and most investors have grown used to this stability. But when real money starts trading at slightly higher rates internationally, it signals increased interest in the currency. It's important to note that these changes are not yet reflected in domestic Iraqi bank rates, but Forex activity is often the first signal of future official adjustments. Traders and analysts are particularly excited because this movement is happening across multiple trading pairs simultaneously, suggesting that the trend is backed by real market forces and not just random fluctuations. Why is this small rate movement significant? In currency markets, even lighter changes can indicate larger underlying shifts in economic confidence. The Iraqi government has been implementing reforms to strengthen its economy, diversify away from oil dependence, and stabilize financial institutions. When the market starts reflecting confidence in these reforms, traders take notice immediately. Today's movement could be interpreted as early evidence that international investors are starting to recognize these efforts. Remember, Forex markets are highly sensitive to perception. The fact that multiple platforms show the dinar strengthening slightly indicates that market participants are willing to trade at these new levels. Even a seemingly minor uptick can attract more interest, creating a cycle where increased trading volume pushes the currency higher. In other words, small shifts on Forex screens can eventually create substantial market momentum. Now let's look at the technical evidence behind this movement. These aren't obscure platforms showing errors or glitches. The screens we're monitoring include professional systems that handle millions of dollars in transactions every day. When multiple major platforms start reflecting the same trend, it is not coincidence. Automated trading systems detect and respond to these changes, which can amplify the effect in real time. Today, the dinar showed positive movement against the US dollar, euro, and pound. Each of these pairs displayed similar upward pressure, which is a key factor for traders looking for sustainable trends. Random fluctuations usually appear in isolated currency pairs, not across several at the same time. So, this small rate change might actually be an early warning of something much larger. Investors who understand how to read these signals are paying attention closely because these subtle signals often precede bigger market shifts. Understanding why this could matter for the Iraqi economy is crucial. A stronger currency, even slightly, can reflect increasing confidence in Iraq's financial system and economic stability. Over the past few years, Iraq has been steadily working to improve its banking infrastructure, streamline business regulations, and maintain stable oil production. When Forex traders detect small improvements in a currency's value, it usually means international markets believe in the country's long-term economic potential. Additionally, regional stability and positive diplomatic developments can make investors more willing to hold the currency. The movement we're seeing today may not be dramatic, but it is a signal that international investors are taking notice of Iraq's progress. In the long run, sustained interest from global traders could lead to more consistent strengthening of the dinar, eventually influencing the official domestic exchange rate. What does this mean for traders and holders of the Iraqi dinar? First, it's important to remain patient and realistic. Forex rate changes do not automatically translate into immediate profits or advantages for individual currency holders. Converting currency and market spreads can influence actual gains. However, these small movements are crucial early indicators for professional traders. Many of them take small positions at first to test the waters, observing whether the trend continues over several days. If consistent, these positions can grow and impact market sentiment even more. For anyone holding dinar, watching these trends provides insight into what might happen in the coming weeks or months. A sustained pattern of rate strengthening could signal real potential for long-term currency value improvement, but it requires careful monitoring and disciplined patience. Let's explore the economic reforms potentially influencing today's movement. Iraq has been implementing measures to reduce bureaucratic hurdles for businesses, improve fiscal management, and diversify the economy beyond oil. These efforts often take time to show up in currency valuation, but Forex markets tend to be sensitive to early signs of progress. For example, when the country demonstrates better economic governance or improved international banking relationships, foreign traders are more likely to engage in the market. This increased activity creates upward pressure on the currency. The key takeaway is that even minor visible improvements in economic fundamentals can be reflected in international trading screens before domestic effects are seen. In today's case, the dinar's movements appear small, but they coincide with positive developments that support a stronger long-term outlook. Regional stability also plays a significant role in Forex trends. Over the past few months, Iraq has experienced a relative improvement in diplomatic and regional relations. When investors perceive reduced political or regional risk, they are more willing to hold local currencies. This is exactly the kind of scenario that can encourage early currency strengthening. Today's small dinar uptick might reflect not just domestic economic improvements, but also international confidence in Iraq's stability. Currency markets react to perception as much as raw data. Therefore, even if domestic changes are gradual, international markets may already price in expectations of improvement. This makes the movement we're seeing more than just technical. It could indicate growing investor confidence in Iraq's overall financial trajectory. Technical traders are watching closely. Automated trading algorithms scan multiple currency pairs for consistency and volume, and today they detected the dinar strengthening across 3 major pairings. This simultaneous movement is rarely random. Traders often interpret these early signals as the potential start of a trend. Many professionals wait for confirmation over several trading sessions before taking larger positions, but initial activity can already influence sentiment. The fact that multiple platforms are showing consistent changes indicates real market interest. This type of movement, even if small, can snowball over time. For anyone interested in following the dinar closely, this is a clear signal to start paying attention because Forex trends often begin subtly before becoming widely recognized. Historical context also matters. Currencies that strengthen sustainably usually do so gradually, supported by underlying economic improvements. Sudden spikes without real economic support often reverse quickly. Today's movement is small and measured, which fits the profile of a currency that might be entering a phase of long-term strengthening. Iraq's economic reforms, regional developments, and banking improvements are all factors that can support a stable increase in currency value. While one day's movement isn't enough to declare a trend, repeated patterns across multiple days or weeks can indicate the start of a meaningful trajectory. Today's Forex screens may mark the first visible step in what could become a significant development for the Iraqi dinar. It's also important to discuss arbitrage opportunities. When the dinar trades at higher rates internationally than domestically, traders notice the price difference. These discrepancies can create opportunities for profit. Over time, this pressure can influence exchange rates as central banks respond to market conditions. Arbitrage often acts as a mechanism to bring markets toward equilibrium, meaning that today's small Forex movement could eventually impact the official domestic rate. While this process can take weeks or months, it highlights why even minor shifts on Forex screens matter. Traders and investors pay attention not just to the absolute value, but to the implications of market behavior across borders. For businesses involved in international trade with Iraq, even small changes in the dinar's value are significant. Importers and exporters monitor exchange rates closely because profit margins can be affected by even minor fluctuations. Today's small uptick may prompt businesses to adjust pricing, consider hedging strategies, or reevaluate contracts. In practice, international markets provide early warnings that businesses can use strategically. While individual currency holders might not see immediate benefits, the broader economic impact could be felt by companies operating in or with Iraq. The ripple effects from today's Forex movement may influence decisions in trade, investment, and financial planning. Let's examine professional analysis of today's movement. Analysts describe the changes as subtle but noteworthy. The dinar's consistent strengthening across multiple platforms draws attention because Forex markets usually react to fundamental signals even before official announcements. Experts are cautious, noting that short-term movements don't always predict long-term trends, but they acknowledge that this early activity could signal something larger. The combination of economic reforms, regional stability, and international engagement makes today's Forex evidence particularly compelling. Analysts are watching whether the trend continues over the coming days, which will provide a clearer picture of its potential significance. Future monitoring is key. Traders and observers should focus on whether the dinar's strengthening continues across multiple sessions. Sustained trends indicate serious market interest. While one-day spikes can be misleading, official statements from Iraq's central bank can provide additional context. Similarly, announcements regarding economic policy, banking reforms, or international partnerships could further influence the currency's trajectory. Trading volume is another essential factor. Higher volume indicates more participants and stronger interest, making any observed movement more reliable. Today's small Forex change may be the first visible signal in a longer-term process that could reshape investor perception of the Iraqi dinar. Common misconceptions must be addressed. Many people assume that any positive change means immediate, dramatic results for currency holders. The truth is more nuanced. Currency movements, especially in emerging markets, tend to be gradual. The process from international Forex trends to tangible domestic impact is complex, involving conversion costs, market access, and timing. Patience and realistic expectations are essential. Today's movement may be significant in signaling future trends, but it does not guarantee immediate benefits. Understanding this distinction helps viewers and investors interpret Forex data responsibly without falling for hype or exaggerated claims. Looking at economic fundamentals, Iraq's progress provides a backdrop for today's movement. The country has stabilized oil production, worked to diversify its economy, and strengthened institutions. These improvements are slow but measurable, and the Forex market responds to such changes, often before domestic effects become visible. Today's small strengthening of the dinar could reflect early market confidence in these reforms. It may also signal that international traders are beginning to view Iraq as a more stable environment for investment. This subtle shift is why professionals consider even minor rate changes to be noteworthy. They can be the first indicators of future market adjustments. It's also worth noting the role of global relationships. Iraq's efforts to integrate more closely with international financial networks improve currency attractiveness. Enhanced banking infrastructure facilitates trading and currency conversion, encouraging investment. Forex platforms respond quickly to these signals because traders evaluate not only economic data but also access and liquidity. Today's rate change may reflect growing confidence in Iraq's ability to operate effectively within global financial systems. For those monitoring the dinar, these developments highlight the importance of viewing Forex movements in a broader economic and geopolitical context rather than in isolation. For traders and investors, the takeaway is clear: stay alert and patient. Today's small movements could be the beginning of a longer-term trend, but they require sustained observation to confirm. Watching multiple platforms, monitoring trading volume, and staying informed about official announcements and economic developments will provide the most accurate picture. The key is not to react impulsively, but to recognize early signals that may foreshadow meaningful shifts in currency value. Today's dinar activity is subtle, but history shows that early signals often precede larger movements. In conclusion, today's Forex evidence is an important development for the Iraqi dinar. Multiple platforms show consistent strengthening against major currencies, signaling early international interest. While domestic effects may take time, these movements are meaningful for traders, businesses, and analysts. Iraq's ongoing economic reforms, regional stability, and international engagement all support the potential for a stronger currency. Monitoring these trends carefully is essential for anyone invested or interested in the dinar. Remember, patience and realistic expectations are critical when interpreting small but significant Forex movements. That wraps up our detailed look at today's Iraqi dinar movements. Whether you are a currency holder, trader, or simply watching global markets, today's small uptick is an important signal worth following. Stay engaged, keep monitoring the data, and remember that small changes on Forex screens often foreshadow larger trends. If you found this analysis helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to IQUS, and ring the notification bell so you never miss breaking developments. Share this video with anyone who follows the dinar, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Every opinion matters, and we read them all. Stay informed, stay patient, and keep watching those markets closely, because today's small movement could be the start of something much bigger in the Iraqi dinar story.